Hi guys, I'm back. Alright. My name is Edwin for y'all that don't know me. And I'm showing y'all how to do my full face. So we done the brows, we done the cream base and insurance, right? Foundation. Now it's time to move to powders. So what I do is first I dust off all of the powder, and then today I used Airspun, this powder right here. Airspun. It's like my favorite and it's affordable. They have it like at HEB and Walmart and stuff. I really like it. I do recommend it, but I do recommend y'all find y'all's specific shade. So if you're somebody that use a more pink tone foundation, I would recommend to use more of a like translucent or neutral, just because you don't want pink powder on pink foundation. You know what I'm saying? Same goes to like um, dark powder and dark foundation. So moving on, we're gonna start on contouring and and um, blush and highlight, all of that. I'm gonna show y'all how I basically finish the face, my everyday type of face, um, with the powders. So I'm gonna go in with this Kat Von D Shade and Light palette, and then I usually really like the Hoola bronzer, but a bitch don't got that right now. So Kat Von D, I'm gonna go in with this shade right here. Even though it looks really dark, it's all about just having control over your colors. So if you know that a contour is gonna look dark on you, you wanna be really careful and using very little of that. So I'm gonna go in with this fan brush. And I don't normally use a fan brush for contouring because I just feel like, okay, you do this because that's what you think that you're gonna do when you use a fan brush. So you do this and then it just goes down. When that's not the point, we want to lift up. This is what we're trying to accentuate. And then this is our cheek bone right here. So that's what we're trying to make pop out. I'm only gonna go in with a little bit of this, so I'm just running my fan brush. And the reason why I'm using a fan brush is because it's it's soft. It's gonna blend really easily, and you know I'm gonna have control. So starting at the back, just kind of like fanning it upwards, not really doing too much, just kind of like, and then keep it back here. You don't want to bring it too forward, especially if you're not using a color that matches you well. I'm also contouring my jawline right here, just running the fan brush with whatever's left over, just because I don't want my jawline contour to be really dark. And then I'm going back in and blending. Notice how I'm kind of like doing this, so less pressure, more blending. Keep that in mind. So yeah, that's looking a little dark, but it's okay because we use blushes and highlighter to give it more dimension. So I'm gonna do the other cheek. I'm gonna show y'all again. So starting right here, just kind of like placing the color there, and then very lightly just kind of like pushing upwards, and then I want to blend it out now, so I'll just take whatever is left over, use it on my chin, and then blend. So in circular motions, just kind of like move around, move it around. And yeah, That's what I do for the cheeks, really. And then if I were to be using like a um the Hoola bronzer, I would just maybe use something like this and then work it like right there. But basically the point of powder contouring is not really to sculpt, it's just to reinforce. So like when we do the cream, we do want to sculpt and we do want to draw our lines to create that illusion, right? So when we're powder contouring, we still want to keep it clean, but more so add a layer. So yeah. And then for my forehead, I'm really just using the end of the fan brush just because there's way less resistance here. So like there's way less, I have way less control on the edges. So at first I'll just place, oh god. And then on the edges I'll kind of contour with the sides and then blend everything using the entire fan brush. So just really run the fan brush everywhere. Circular motions, swiping motions, up and down motions. It's really good for blending. I do recommend this if you're somebody that goes for a more natural look, because the fan brush, like, it's it's a brush that has less, it's more bendy. Yeah. So next thing that I'm gonna do is contour my nose. And I usually would use a Hoola bronzer. I don't have that right now. So I'm gonna use the Kylie palette and then mix it a little with what's left over of this shade right here to contour my nose. Everyone's nose is different, so I don't recommend you look at me and you're like, oh, okay, so that's how I do it. But it's kind of the same concept. So we want to slim the bridge, draw a bridge. I really have a really not so defined bridge, so I want to draw on a bridge and then I want to lift the bulb. So whoa. So with this little Hoola brush, this is the one that came in with the bronzer. There is the bigger one, but like you can get this from the mini one. And I do recommend using this because, or like a brush with that can draw like a straight line, because it's gonna be easier for you to just, you know. So I'm gonna dip into the shade from the Kat Von D palette, and then a little bit of this Kylie shade right here. That one. And draw on my nose. Hold on. Okay, so starting up here, and then we bring it to the brow. Actually get it in the brow. It's gonna lighten up the front of the brow too. Work it underneath, which is gonna lift up your nose. The closer you get to the center, the slimmer your nose is gonna look. And don't worry if you went a little bit, you know, further out, because we are gonna bake it. Okay. So we got the nose bridge on, and then I'll take a smaller kind of straight brush. Where's my straight brush? Oh, okay, right here. So like, still kind of a straight brush, y'all see, but smaller. I'll take this, and I'm gonna dip into the Kylie shade, mix it in a little bit the Kat Von D shade, and then run it right above my nose. So like right here, kind of like creating a line right above the nostrils. And you can go a little bit lower with this if you have, you know, larger nostrils. Like I go a little bit lower to create the illusion of like a smaller nose. But like what this does is that it gives structure to your nose so it doesn't look like a pepperoni nose, or not a pepperoni nose, but like what's it called, Squidward nose, and it lifts it too. So like, yeah, y'all see, ooh, oh, oh, and then we can clean it up, highlight it. So I'm taking the yellow shade from the Kat Von D palette. I'm taking the yellow shade and then mix it in with the translucent kind of like pink shade. And then I want to highlight this area right here, right above my nose bridge, because I want it to look like really smooth. So I'll highlight this area, the nose tip right here, a little bit on the nostrils, just on the sides real quick, and then the bridge. I like doing this step just because it cleans it up, but it's not necessary. We're gonna bake it anyways. So we're done with our contouring. We're all Gucci with that one. Okay. Okay. Looking snatched. Okay. So now we gotta bake it. We gotta bake our face. We're gonna clean this shit up. I'm gonna take some of my translucent powder, and then with my little Real Technique sponge, clean up on the sides of my nose. So like, the closer you go with the bake, the smaller the illusion will be. But you gotta keep in mind to kind of cater to your nose. You can't, you know, try to draw a whole entire new nose on top of your nose, you know? You gotta cater to your nose's shape. So I'm going really close, but I'm still kind of staying in the nostril region, I guess, like following right above my nostril, just because I don't want to go too in and then it looks like, you know, not natural. I'll do this too. And then I'll just clean it up a little bit. So like the reason I clean it up right there is because I want to lift, not drive down, and the highlight brings everything out. So I don't want to bring out, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then I'll powder right under my eyes too, because I want wherever I'm highlighting to create the illusion of, I guess, looking smoother. So like I want this whole entire white area to be smooth. And then right above my cheeks right here to highlight my cheekbone. And then we're gonna do the cheek, under the cheek. So I'm gonna use a straight flat side of my sponge. I'm dipping into the powder. Using the corner, I go from the top of the corner of my mouth, so not at the corner, but a little bit over. So like, even when you smile, you'll see kind of like, okay, this right here is what I'm trying to highlight. You can't really see it now that I highlight it everywhere, but that's what you're trying to achieve is, oh, you can't even see it. That sucks. Well, I'll show y'all. Well, you basically want to smile, right? And then y'all see kind of like, yeah, clean it up. You can use your ears to measure too. I find that easy. Like, so like, I'll measure from like this cartilage all the way down to the corner of my mouth. Or like my sideburns, but I mean, yeah, I don't got sideburns if you're a girl. Okay. Whoa. I took my time on this step because, bitch, do I like a sharp contour? Hell yeah. What this does is it's gonna accentuate the darkness. So like, you put a light right under a dark and it's gonna really make the dark pop. And we kind of want that if we're creating the illusion of a really full cheekbone, because it creates contrast. It gives your face more dimension and it looks realistic. Make sure there's symmetrical. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes. I'm gonna let that bake. I'm gonna let that settle in there. I'm gonna go in with like a skin colored bronzer now. I'm using the Hoola Light. This is a good like alternative for a powder foundation. The reason I'm doing this step is because I want to kind of, one, like, what's the word for, what's that method that Jeffree Star used? Of, like, I'm wanting to lighten my contour a little bit. So, that's what I'm doing by using this powder. This like skin color powder. And it also creates like a more blended effect. So it lightens and then blends. Think of this as like your foundation shade for your powder. I'll also like right here, right on the sides, my temple, my ear. I'm not taking too much too. I'm just like really skimming over it. The cheeks, it's gonna make a really more seamless blend. It's kind of like a blush. And remember, this is a really easy look to take to Walmart if you're going on a grocery run, you know, the library. It's just what you do when you don't want to do too much, you know? So our next step for this really natural look is the eyes. And every day I'm not trying to wear, you know, really heavy eyeshadow. So what I'm gonna do is dip into this with a really fluffy brush. So this fluffy, see, it's kind of like the size of a blending brush. Really fluffy brush. I'm gonna dip into these two shades. The shades that I used for my contour. And go right in the crease. So like starting at the back and then swiping and then kind of like circular motions. Want to hold it from kind of like the back because it's going to create a more seamless blend. But I'm going to show y'all another trick that I use to blend it. This is what I use to kind of like add some color. You see the difference already? Like it just adds so much more dimension and it makes my eyes look bigger. Yeah, it's great. So yeah, that's really all it takes. I'm gonna do the other eye, dip into these two shades. And I like using my bronzer shades because it makes the whole look more monochromatic instead of like having a warm toned face with a kind of like ashy eye. You don't want that. Unless you're doing a look, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So yeah. Relax your eyes too, because I know a lot of girls like to do this. This is good for like knowing where your crease is at. So like you do that, you know exactly where you're supposed to kind of like blend, but you don't want to go too high with this contour shade. Even though it's like really natural, you still don't want to do too much. And then the next thing that I do to make sure that everything is blended, I'm going to take my blush. This is my blush. This is Partey by Tarte. It's really busted and crusted, but I love it. And I'm just going to run this right over it. Not even giving too fuck. This is a really natural blush, so I love this blush. I recommend this blush to literally everyone. Like, it's so natural. Because I know girls these days, like, y'all don't like wearing blush. But I love blush. And I feel like it just blends everything so much better. Like, if y'all just try out blush, I promise y'all gonna fall in love with it to the point where, like, you don't even gotta contour. You just gotta put on some blush and you'll be good. Like, I get it. I do get it. Sometimes, you know, we're scared of the looking fucking slapped on the cheek. And that's kind of the look that I go for. But being a guy that doesn't really have, you know, huge cheekbones, I need that illusion, bitch. So that's why I put on so much. But like for y'all females that have cheekbones, or guys, you know, I think I have cheekbones. I just don't have really big cheekbones. But I mean, if I contour my shit, I be looking like I have fucking filler. Anyways, don't get filler and get you this blush. So yeah, I just kind of like go fucking in and just like wiggle that bitch around. And you're good, bitch. You're blended and you're fucking monochromatic and a fantasy. So that's that for the eyes. I would just do the same thing under. So like I would take that bronzer shade and take it under with the blush if y'all want. Y'all don't got to, but I would do that just because I want the underneath to be as similar to the top as possible. And yeah, that's what I do for the eyes when it comes to my, well, at least a shadow. So I think we can brush off this bake now. Make sure that when you're brushing the bake that you use a more dense brush. And then when you're brushing it, kind of like, don't start swiping. That's gonna leave the color. So start by moving it around. Like, move it around. So move this on. I play with like this side a little right above my cheekbones, or both sides right above my cheekbone to like lighten this area up for the highlight. Same, you see? So like right here, it's kind of like lighten it out. It's not really important how you brush it off on the nose. We want to blend it out anyways. We don't want the nose contour to be dark. So yeah, we're baked. We're done with that. I'm just gonna go over everything with my other powder brush just to make sure everything is, you know, blended. And it is. Next thing is blush, my favorite part. So with this kind of like slanted blush brush, I go into my blush, you know, get a nice little, you can really do this with this blush. Like, I really feel like you can because it's so light. It's so natural. I love it. This is Partey. Yeah. It's freaking great, man. It's fucking great. Oh my god, don't say that. Okay. I blush my chin because I want there to be a color story on my face. I don't want just blush on my cheeks. That's part of the reason why it looks kind of crazy sometimes. But on my chin, my nose a little bit, just on the tip, my forehead, I'll just run it like on the sides, right here, and then like kind of drag it out from my eyes. This is gonna kind of like pull your face back. So like you blend upwards, it's gonna pull your face back, and then, you know, the sides, it's gonna blend out that forehead contour. Next, the cheeks, my favorite part. This is my favorite part. So you're gonna smile, bitch. Smile, bitch. I don't want y'all to be like, smile. Okay. So you smile. Start kind of like at the bottom. Then kind of work. You want to concentrate the most up here. I gotta do this, but y'all want to concentrate up here. So start at the bottom. See how that just blended that contour way more? Look at that! Look at that! And I haven't even highlighted yet, bitch. So let me show y'all one more time. Here we go. Here we go. So stay with me now. Tap off the excess. Start low. Oh, bitch. Oh, fuck me. Oh. Bitch! Yeah, I do it down my neck. It blends everything, trust me. I'm just using whatever's left over. So it blends everything. Because we have all different types of tones on our body. We don't just have, one tone. We have all different types of tones. So mixing them around, it creates a more natural look. There's really nothing natural about this. But using the right colors, it's gonna make the face look more alive. I'll say that. More alive. I'm just highlighting with a little powder. Okay, so moving on. Next step. Next step is highlighting. So, yay, my favorite part. Okay, so we're highlighting now. And to be honest, I've been more about mixing my highlighters rather than, getting that blinding highlight. Just because I want kind of that glow from within type of look. I know. Sometimes, I do like my blinding ass highlight, but right now I'm really doing kind of the more glow from within vibe. So I'm just taking the dry highlighter at the top of my cheekbone. Remember, the top of your cheekbone is gonna be not up here, right here. This is basically the top of the cheekbone. I'm going with a second layer. I'm using this contour brush from Real Techniques. Okay. So remember. Oh, bitch. Come on, somebody. So yeah, it's a little bright for me either way. So here, hold on. Let me finish highlighting. I highlight right there. Highlight right above my forehead right there. This little area right here. Right there. My chin, I'm gonna like pinch the brush a little. And then my nose. For my nose, I like to take a more flat brush. Some brush that I have more control with. It just depends what brush I have that's clean that day. And then a little tiny bit on the tip, and then, you know, I draw my nose bridge on. Yes, yes, yes. Just a little bit right here. I love my nostrils, you know? I'm going in with the blending brush just to blend the highlight on my nose a little. Ow. Okay. Okay. Stop. Stop it right now. Damn, bitch. You gotta love yourself. You know? You do. So, next thing. Some more blush, bitch. Yes. 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 I know you don't want to, but you gotta blend out that highlight. You do. This is a shimmer blush, and it's by Mary Kay. But you can use any shimmer blush. You know, you don't gotta use so much. You don't. Just really tap off that excess. And what this is gonna do is gonna highlight your cheek. So it's gonna give it more dimension, and it's also gonna blend out that highlight. Cause you know, sometimes if you're looking like a little streak of sunshine on your face, and even though that's cute and all, we want to be the sunshine. We don't want the streak of it on our face. We want it from within. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Come on, glowing queen. All right. So, yeah. Just use the highlight. Notice how I'm just like, it's so much easier to just cater to the cheekbone. Like, yes. And then I just, you know, gotta reinforce it a little bit. Little, just, you know, a little bit. Oh, I also do that on my chin too. Oh. Oh. Oh, you know. Oh my God. It's looking good. All right. Oh. You want to look a little bit more. Right in the center. Then now with your finger if you got to, or you could use your finger to apply it. And just kind of like tap it around. Look at what that did. I'm gonna use my finger for this one. And tap it around. Okay. Blend it out with the brush a little bit. And then I do love to highlight my inner corner. Just like right there. Oh yeah. Fuck. Oh yes. Right there. Yes! Okay. We're good. Oh, maybe the brow bone a little bit. I don't usually do the brow bone so much just because I don't, care. But you can if that's the look that you're going for. The ears. So yeah, this is it. I'm done. This is what it takes to to finish off my everyday glam look. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it's a process. It's a number of steps, but ultimately everything looks so blended. Everything looks, monochromatic and just rich and expensive, and yeah, you see. I hope y'all liked this video. I hope y'all try out this look. This is something, that could help somebody struggling with blending or finding, the right places to put things. If y'all have any questions whatsoever, by all means, message me. I would be so happy to help y'all. If y'all would like me to come over and do your face, I got you. I got y'all. So DM me for that. I'll be putting all my information down below. Keep in mind that you are beautiful just the way you are. You don't need no type of makeup if you do not want all this makeup on your face. But makeup is fun. Makeup is a way to express ourselves. Makeup is an outlet for our creativity. So have fun with it. This is me. This is what I do if I want to really feel super confident, but not with all the work, of the eyeshadow and stuff. So yeah, I hope y'all liked it. I will be coming out with more videos soon, and till the next one. So peace out. Bye, boo.